Namaskar. Fold your hands. Om Brahmarpanam.
Om Brahmarpanam.
Brahmavi.
Brahmavi.
Brahmagno.
Brahmavagno.
Brahmanahutam.
Brahmanahutam.
Brahmeva.
Brahmeva.
Tene gantavyam.
Tena gantavyam.
Brahma karma.
Brahma karma.
Samadhina.
Samadhina.
Om Shanti. त्रिकुटी को स्पर्श कर हृदय के मध्य मिलाकर आत्मा कर दे सकना. Consciousness touch your forehead or the center of the eyes and to the center of your chest. Salute your consciousness with the love of your heart. Atma ko hriday se pranam. Salute your consciousness with the love of your heart. So today we are here to talk on yoga, to learn yoga. And yoga without Ayurveda is not complete. Similarly, Ayurveda without yoga is not complete. So because our base is yoga, so we are actually going to learn more on yoga and yogic practice. Okay, so that way, this is the yoga with unification, with the oneness, with the supreme consciousness. That is the yoga which we are going to learn. So now the thing is that we have to understand, as in our last class, we discussed what is yoga. So now we will understand who am I. Because what is my importance to learn yoga? Today we were just talking on that line. What is my importance to learn yoga? Why am I learning yoga? So earlier in the previous class, we understood what is yoga. So yoga means unification. Unification means union, or it is communion or jod. Sanyoga yoga ityukta Jivatma Parmatma. Jivatma और परमात्मा का मिलन. It is union or milan. Means it is merger. It is merger means this is one and the other one comes together. So this one is called as supreme consciousness, and the other one, which actually becomes one, comes with it together. This is cosmic consciousness. So the cosmic consciousness and the supreme consciousness, that is Jivatma and Parmatma, becomes one, that is called as yoga, that is unification. So that is why yoga is that. Now, what is Ayurveda? Ayurveda means, Ayu means life, Veda means knowledge. Knowledge of life is Ayurveda. So now let us again go back to the definition of yoga. That is, yoga is unification of unit consciousness. So what is the unit consciousness? Existence of the unit consciousness. That is Jivatma. Unit consciousness is in the form of, maybe at the elevated level of the consciousness, is human being. The human being is made of three things. Okay. One is the body, second is the mind, and third is the soul. Okay. We all know. Sharir Manatma. So the body, mind, and soul. So the union here is of the body and mind, that is one. Okay. And the soul. Soul is the same, which is the soul or God, is one thing. Soul means consciousness or the supreme consciousness. Consciousness is in the unit form, expressed in the unit form, is unit consciousness, Jivatma. Like Atma is there in you, Atma is there in Yogishta, Atma is there in Gurlin, Atma is there in Jare, Atma is there in anyone else. So Atma is the soul or the consciousness expressed in the form of one maybe entity, right? Like here the animal and the human has some difference, which we will be understanding. Like here, just in a moment, that this this Jivatma, unit consciousness, is having body and the mind and the soul. The body is made of 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and sky. Prithvi, Jal, Agni, Vayu, Akash. Now this water, sorry, there was a call for disturbance. So earth, water, fire, air, and sky. This way. Prithvi, Jal, Agni, Vayu, Akash, the Pancha-bhutas. Last class also we understood these Pancha-bhutas can be understood as Bhagavan. Bha, Bhumi means earth. Va, Vayu means air. Gagan means sky. A, Bha, Ga, Va means Vayu. A means Agni. And Na means Neer or Agni means fire and Neer means water, Jal. So this again Bhagwan word, whatever has come from, or whosoever has named it that way, is having the inner meaning that it is with the nature, the Prakriti, the Pancha-bhuta Prakriti. So the Pancha-bhutas Prakriti is here in the form of the nature which is expressed nature. So now the expression of the universe is that the universe is having consciousness that is nothing, shunya, zero. Now it has a zero has what? Zero means it has no wavelength, no frequency, and infinite wavelength. Okay. So now there is some frequency in it. So that the beginning frequency is expressed, and that expression is called as Kaushiki. The koshas, the layer of the consciousness, Panch koshas. The highest kosha is Anandamaya kosha. Then comes Anandamaya kosha is also known Hiranmaya kosha. Yes?
रिपीट कीजिएगा.
Pardon?
वापस रिपीट कीजिएगा.
No,
Wavelength and
talk in English. This class is also for Jintier. So, yes, what do you want?
could you please repeat again for that wavelength and the Panchkoshas part?
See, Panchkosas is here at the level of the cosmic level. The Panchkosha is the layer of the kosha, or the mind of the mind, and consciousness means consciousness when it is in the form of nothingness. There is no expression. Then that is consciousness. When there is expression, when there is zero wavelength, zero frequency and infinite wavelength. Zero frequency, there is no frequency. There is no frequency, that is called as consciousness. That is Atma. When there is, and the wavelength is infinite. That is straight line has no wavelength. It is infinite wavelength. And no frequency, zero frequency. So that then now there is a frequency starting. So that first level of frequency is known as the first level of the Panch Kosha, the 5 koshas, the 5 layers of the mind of the consciousness. That is called as the first highest kosha is known as Anandamaya kosha. Ananda means the supreme consciousness. Anand means Brahma. Anand is Brahma. The name of Anand, name of supreme consciousness is Anandam. Anandam Brahmityahu. As long as you are in the state of desires and you want the happiness by fulfillment of the desires of your, thoughts, then that will give you sensory pleasures of the sensory organs of eyes, nose, ears, skin, and tongue. Then that desire is actually sorry, that level of mind is not anand, that is simple happiness. Now, when that state comes into the anand, sukham anantam anandam, now that was sukh, happiness means sukh. Now, when that comes into the state of anand, sukh, means infinite happiness, when there is zero frequency and infinite wavelength, and you are not affected by the neither by the pleasure nor by the pain, and you remain, yeah.
How do we reach to that uh, situation? How do we
That
reach
is
there?
that is I told you that is the highest frequency, highest level of consciousness. So there I talked about the consciousness started from the consciousness which is zero. Now from zero it is the consciousness himself is trying to express. So first expression is again in a straight line. That is Anand Sukh. So that I am talking about consciousness. I am coming from God.
Okay,
I'm not talking that I am what. I am
okay,
talking about
right,
God. God is
okay,
in the form of zero. There is no concept. There is no frequency and infinite wavelength. So the first expression of God is in the first highest level of consciousness. Sorry, highest level of Panchkosha, known as
Anandam.
highest level of Panchkosha known as Anandamaya Kosha. Okay, so
Okay,
it is the state of sadhana. As your question is supposed to be answered, that you will reach only by sadhana.
okay,
You can reach by sadhana is atmokshartam jagatitacha. Sadhana is two ways. One is self-realization, means penance, meditation, yoga, then reading scriptures, then detachment of your thoughts, and one becoming no means attachment of all your desires, all your expressions becoming zero. That state of nothingness is the state of Anandamaya, like
okay,
Mira, Kabir, Guru Nanak, and anyone like that. Like Guru Nanak, when he was said that you are lying down with your feet towards Kaaba. So he said, wherever there is no Kaaba, you can turn my feet. So
right,
wherever it was turned, so Kaaba was in that direction because he is himself in the state of the supreme consciousness. So supreme consciousness, when you become one with supreme consciousness, the Prakriti, the nature is actually according to you. Okay. So the nature
okay,
will work according to you, not that. So nature will follow you. So in that state of consciousness, like Mira is poisoned because consciousness is Atma, and Atma cannot leave the body, and the body has to be purified. So Atma did not accept that poison, and she was not affected by the poison. In that state of that level of consciousness, human also attains that. Adi Guru Shankaracharya, or so many saints who has attained, Buddha, Mahavir, all these saints have attained that state of Anandamaya Kosh. So you see how much penance they have done, how much tapa, how much means they are born gurus, they are born gurus. Okay. Now this second level of consciousness,
There
when
any
there is some,
is,
pardon,
is there any cons of not having desires?
not having desire is a state of that level of consciousness when you become God, when you become one with God. As long as you are having desires, as long as you are attachment, you are having ego, as long as you are having attachment of your sensory organs, till that time, you will have a frequency. There will be a vibration. I told you when there is no frequency and infinite wavelength, then that time you are God. Like I gave you the name of the saints. But till that time you are in the lower level. So second level you have to understand. Second level is Vijnanamaya Kosha. What is Vijnanamaya Kosha? Vijnanamaya Kosha is the state of that consciousness in which you are realizing the Prakriti, the nature. And you can see the nature as it is, like scientists. scientists or the rishis or yogis or philosophers, they can see, their vision is such that they are rishi. Rishi means drashta. One who can see is rishi. One who can see the nature beyond their conscious eye, means beyond their senses. That is, you can say they can see where the sixth sense, beyond their five senses. Eyes, nose, ear, skin, and tongue, they don't need that. When in a stage you will attain that you can see the universe or the nature without the five senses, then that state, like you might have seen the videos, I experienced this on 2nd of May. I experienced one person who was third eye activation guru, who came on the stage with his daughter, and she was blindfolded, and she was able to read books without any eyesight. Then she was able to see anyone, talk to anyone, and then she was able to remember any numbers and anything in seconds. So this is because the third eye of consciousness is the rishi, is the state of where the pituitary gland is having that state of consciousness, where you close your eyes, close your ears, close your, means all the senses, and you surrender your ego also and become one with God. Then in that stage you will start getting this level of power, that you can visualize the universe without the senses, without the sensory organs. So this state of consciousness is known as the second level. This is not the guru's level. The first one which I told is Anandamaya Kosh. No, that is not there. And beyond Anandamaya Kosh also is zero. The existence of Nirgun Brahma, the existence of Nirakar Brahma, where Brahma is not expressing, but he is expressed. He is himself there, but there is nothing. That is Shunya, means Shiva. Shiva is not expressing. Okay, when there is unexpressed expression of the Guru, that level of expression is known as Shiva's consciousness. When you express, then you become as the Guru, and you take a form. But you are in the again stage of the nothingness. Your mind is in the state of nothingness. And now in the next level is, so we say Anandamaya Parikoshi Virjam Brahm Nishkalam. You can write this shloka. Anandamaya Koshi is also known as Hiranamaya Koshi. Hiranamaya Parikoshe Virjam Brahm Nishkalam. Beyond Hiranamaya Kosha is known as that Hiranamaya or Anandamaya same. Beyond Hiranamaya Kosha is known as Brahma, the Supreme Consciousness. Okay, that is zero. That is Nirgun Brahma. When the Nirgun Brahma will express in the form of Sagun Brahma, that is Sakar Brahma. Now he will express in the form of forms, the Pancha-bhutas. But in the state of the Pancha-bhutas, he remains in the state of Anandam, that is Supreme Bliss, and in the state of Brahma. Then that level of expression is called as Anandamaya Kosha. Now the second level I told you is the level of Vijnanamaya Kosha, when you are Rishi. When you visualize the nature and the universe as it is without your senses, without and submerging your ego, then you are in the state of Vijnanamaya Kosha. Now comes below. In the Vijnanamaya Kosha also there is known as one Kosha known as Ati-manas Kosha, which is inside Vijnanamaya actually. Ati-manas, beyond your consciousness, beyond your beyond your mind. Means your senses are now not supposed to see, but it is a sort of the state of Vijnanamaya only. Now comes, you go one step below, known as Manomaya Kosha. Manomaya Kosha is the state which you and I live. You and I live in the state of Manomaya Kosha. Yes. Anything?
Could you please repeat Atimanas Kosh?
Ati-manas Kosha is actually Vijnanamaya Kosha only. It is a part of Vijnanamaya Kosha. Ati-manas means, Ati means beyond. Manas means mind, beyond mind. The consciousness or beyond mind is known as Ati Manas. So that way it is a part of Vijnanamaya Kosha.
And
Vijnanamaya means Vigyan means the science means which is there in the universe, but normal people cannot see it. But when you do research, when you are able to visualize, even psychology is a science. Even biology is not only the science, psychology is also science. All the philosophy is science. Because that is existing, a thought is existing. All the Vedas are science, intuitional science of Vedas. The modern scientists have only visualized the things through their physical eye. The physical, that is the five senses only. When the visualization is beyond the five senses, then that state is known as the state of Vijnanamaya Kosha. And
so
Ati
science is
Manas Kosha
something which
is,
is existing in universe.
pardon?
Science is something which is existing in universe.
Yes. Science means anything which exists in the universe, even the philosophy, even the thoughts, even the ideas, even the psychology, even the mental state, anything which is there which cannot be actually visualized by the senses is science. Sorry, which is existing is science. Anything which may not be visualized but it exists is science. So the day you visualize, you express it. Those who are able to visualize beyond the senses, the common people cannot visualize. The common people who visualize is the visualization by the three levels, that is Manomaya Kosha, through the intellectual mind, that is through research, through studies. Scientists don't visualize or see through research. They actually realize by their beyond consciousness. Beyond conscious means beyond their senses. Here consciousness means beyond their senses. The
So
scientists like Archimedes visualized the theory of this thing, uh, the buoyancy is because his senses did not. He realized that. Likewise, Newton visualized the law of nature, the three laws of nature, was beyond his senses. Einstein visualized that every matter is having energy, was beyond his senses. So anything you visualize is beyond your senses is known as science. The day you are expressing it, so those people who are able to visualize are rishis, drashta, rishi, scientists are rishis. Yes.
So, according to science, as they say that our body is anything is made of matters, and uh, and same we are saying that we are made of five elements. So that we are made of matters according to the modern science. So that plasma and Bose also states the same thing that anything which is not visible is also science.
Which is not visible is?
Also science. Because plasma is not visible. Plasma and
No,
bones.
not like plasma is not visible, but it that is why I told you, no, those things which are not visible. Even the DNA and the RNA was not visible. Okay, the chromosomes was not visible. Likewise, the macro level of the universe. Okay, beyond the Earth, the planets, the different galaxies was not visible. So anything, there are so many things which are not visible. So that does not mean that. See, that is what I told you. Science, even plasma at the level of plasma, at the level of DNA, RNA, or at the macro level, at the level of the all the galaxies and the stars, was not visible. It was later on the scientists realized, then they made the gadgets like microscope or telescope, and then they were able to express, or today's satellites. It is all the creation of the consciousness, the mind. which made, they did not realize it through the microscope. They realized first through their mind. Then they started doing experimenting and research, and then it was shown to the world through the microscopes or through through the telescope or anything. And today the satellites are showing it. So likewise, the universe, as you said rightly, that these are not seen by the senses, the sensory organs, but it exists, like plasma or DNA or anything. But it exists. So you will be able to visualize all the Pancha-bhutas, the nature, the elements. You are seeing it by your sensory organs. But there are things which is not actually seen, but it is existing. So those things which are actually not being realized and still existing, you are able to see. That is means visualize. That is the state of the science. But beyond the science, also there is known as the bliss or the anandam, that is the infinite, or the Vedic science, or the science of the philosophy, the science of the love, care, and the wisdom, and the knowledge of those things, where you actually don't have any gadgets, any things, microscope or telescope or satellite, but still you are expressing the thoughts. And when the people will listen, then those people who are hardcore scientists at the physical level, who have not elevated their mind to above than Manomaya Kosha. So now your answer will be coming in Manomaya Kosha. Manomaya Kosha means the kosha or the layer of the mind of Manomaya Kosha means layer of the mind of the thoughts, ideas, intellect is Manomaya Kosha, where you can read, understand, is Manomaya. Okay. So that is the state of Manomaya Kosha. So these are the way different actually expressions of different level of consciousness. So this way Manomaya Kosha is expressing, wait, 1 minute. Huh? So this way Manomaya Kosha is expressing through different levels. Wait, I'll open that PPT for you. Let me share.
I have one more question.
Wait. Now you can ask.
What is the exact difference between material world and spiritual world? And if someone says that they are continuously feeling unsatisfied and even after like having unlimited wanting.
Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Can you see?
It's visible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Screen is seen?
Yes,
Yes.
it's visible.
Yes. Tell me, what is your question?
My question is, what is difference between material world and spiritual world, and why a person feels not fulfilled or satisfied in the material world?
Okay. So that will come in a very later level. Let me first show you. See, as I told you, this nature is made by, you can see this? This nature is made by the 5 elements. Is it seen? Okay. Can you see this?
Yes.
Yes.
Visible.
Okay. Huh?
Visible.
The 5 elements, earth, water, fire, air, and sky. Okay. And this earth, water, fire, and sky, as we will learn in our later classes on Ayurveda, that one element with other element makes the Vata, Pitta, Kapha. Okay, Vata is air and sky, Vayu and Akash. Pitta means Agni and Jal, that is fire and water. Kapha means Jal and Prithvi, that is water and earth. Okay. So these Panch-bhutas are associated with our endocrine glands. And here, your question's answer is here. Actually, the material world and the spiritual world is having a connectivity through the kosha, which will come. See the Panch koshas, the different koshas. The highest kosha you see is Anandamaya kosha, the external layer. You can see. We will read more elaborately. Here you see your question's answer is here. It is said Atmanam Ratinam Vidhi Shariram Ratmevatu Buddhin tu Sarthi Vidhi Manah Pragramevicha. Means at the level of the consciousness, you are a soul, you are the Atma, and your body is made by the five elements, the Pancha-mahabhutas, that is earth, water, fire, and sky. Okay, this one is making your body. Then your body becomes your vehicle of your life, and then your mind at the level of intellect, that is manomaya kosha, is known as buddhi. Okay, that is intellect, and this intellect is, if it is beyond the senses, then that intellect is called as intuition, and that is the state of vijnanamaya kosha. And then when you are beyond again intellect and intuition, and then beyond attachment, then you are in the state of oneness with the soul, that is you are in the state of Atma, and that state is known as the Anandamaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya and Anandamaya Kosha. So if you are not in that state, then you will come down to the intellect, below the intellect, and then it is said Mana Pragramevcha. Then you will be governed by your five sensory organs, eyes, nose, ear, skin, and tongue, you can see. These are the five senses, okay, and the five motor organs. Eyes, nose, ear, skin, and tongue. All 10 are not seen here. And then hands, leg, speaking organ, digestive organ, and urinary organ. These 5 and 5 are this thing. The 5 and 5, 10 is your sensory and motor organs. If that is being governed by your higher consciousness, that is Manomaya Kosha and Vijnanamaya Kosha and Anandamaya Kosha, that is through the spiritual power and the intellectual and the intuitional power, then you will be able to balance your material pursuits, that is the attachment with the sensory organs, and you will be able to be happy in the state of blissful, you see. Now, there are different levels to attain that. This we will read later, of different level of consciousness. But the base of all the state of the consciousness is the four purushartha, that is dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. Okay, that is physical. Dharma means psycho-spiritual. So dharma with the dharma, that is at the state of the balance and oneness with the supreme consciousness, that is the parallelism with the spiritual and the mind, that is mental level, that is the consciousness level, that is intellectual level. If you are having the balance of the intellectual as well as the spiritual mind, and then you take up your material world, then artha and kama becomes towards the liberation, and you get the moksha. Here you get the moksha. So this one is very important. The first slide. Okay. The last class also we did on the this one only. Now these other slides about the body we will understand later in other classes of the yoga. And now comes we are today supposed to conclude about the koshas. These the energy centers known as the chakras are associated with the five koshas. You see, now we will see. Here, actually, the number one is actually not, we talked about the mind of the God, mind of the supreme consciousness. So we will start from number 5. That is called as Anandamaya Kosha. You see, it is a bliss body or the supreme super consciousness, blissful mind, detached attachment. Here you see the highest layer, that is Anandamaya. That is the bliss. Okay, the most external mind, that is Anandamaya. Then comes the Vijnanmay, is the state of the wisdom. Okay, that is Vijnanmay, wisdom body or the creative and the intuitional body. Okay, anything? कुछ बोलना? Okay. Then comes. Okay. Are you able to hear?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay. Then comes the Vijnanmay Kosha is done. Then comes the Manomay Kosha. Here only you have to understand. Whole world, 99% of the world is of Manomaya Kosha and below Manomaya Kosha. That is mental body or the intellectual mind. We are trying to understand spirituality through lower mind. Can you understand? Can you measure the depth of the sea by the ball of salt or doll of salt? We are like salt, doll of salt. We are not having that mind to measure the infinite mind of the God. How can you understand God when you are having finite mind? Can a finite thing measure the infinite? No. So the intellectual mind cannot study the spiritual mind. For that, you need to become spiritual. Unless you attain the state of Manandamaya Kosha through sadhana, seva, swadhyaya, satsang, and then you visualize the nature like a rishi, like a jnani, like the supreme consciousness. Okay. So then that state of consciousness is the state of Vijnanmaya and Anandamaya. So unless you attain that state of Vijnanmaya and Anandamaya, you may not become like Kabir or Nanak or Meera is not knowing Vijnanmaya Kosha. They cannot explain like Newton or Einstein. Like rishis who wrote the scriptures of Vedas or all the scientists. No, they are beyond this. They know everything. Any questions are answered by them because they are knowing, all knowing. They are all knowing. But the Manomaya Kosha, here, the mental body or the intellectual mind, will visualize everything and then do the analysis, do the experiment, do the research, and still they will not be able to realize unless they become God or attain the state of the God, because the finite thing cannot measure the infinite. Okay? Hope it is clear. Now comes the Pranamaya Kosha, that is the pranic energy or the life energy. Pranamaya Kosha is that is through your physical body. That is breath. You see, more explanation is here through these photographs. You can see that you can understand the pranamaya kosha. You have to do the physical activity, asanas, pranayama. Then you have to go beyond. You have to do the social work. Your manomaya kosha you can again develop through fine arts. Vijnanamaya kosha to develop you need to do meditation. You need to do dance, drama, swadhyay, and anandamaya kosha only by the meditation, kirtan, and meditation. Okay. And physical body, of course, panch kosas by the sentient food and all these things. Like you see, you can visualize this. So read this. I have already shared in the group, and so read this panch koshas. So I started talking today about this mind of God. Okay. So I started talking about mind of God today, and God's mind starts from the first level, that is Anandamaya Kosha. So if you know about yourself, then you will understand only because you are God. I am God. I means Atma. I am not this name like I am not Gurleen or Yogishta or Acharya Antarang or anyone. I am this. My name is not me. Nor I am this physical body. I am the consciousness. So unless you attain that stage of this consciousness, you will not understand that why are you doing yoga? So yoga means unification of your body, mind, breath with soul. Okay? So this is yoga. So all your materialism, all your intellect is being answered in that. So now today I was supposed to see the syllabus. I'll request you all that you go through the syllabus shared in the group again. Earlier I had shared to Gurleen and this thing. So go through the syllabus. Why we are reading all these things? Because we are still in the state of Anamaya Kosha, that is food, fear, sleep, and sex. And then we have studied a bit. So we are in the state of Manomaya Kosha. And we are having some Pran Shakti. So we are able to see or visualize through our senses. That is Pranamaya Kosha. We are not beyond this Manomaya Kosha till now. Some way or the other, sometimes we do some meditation, some kirtan. Then for some moments, we attain the state of Anandamaya Kosha. Of course, Vijnanamaya Kosha is a God gift. The day you will start realizing beyond my talking, beyond my teaching, the day you will start realizing, like Swami Vivekananda, you was there in Almora. Uh, mm, uh, Almora, he went after from returning from USA. He was a bit sick because he rigorously he was speaking in different groups. So then Swamiji was there in Almora, and then Swamiji was taking rest, and he asked his assistant to get the books from the library. So his assistant brought all the books, whatever was there, big books, very big philosophical books. So Swamiji used to see the books and then return the books next day. Then again he said, I've read all these books. His disciple, who was his assistant, did not ask, anything, because he was always shocked that maybe Swamiji was telling lie. But he had no thing to answer. So he did not, ask question. So he took it and sent to the library. But the second day, he also asked, his disciple also asked, Swamiji, why are you sending it? Are you really reading it? Well, yes, I read it. So every day he used to send the books back, and these many number of books, maybe, piled up, maybe thick books, and all piled up, maybe 10 books like this, of this height, okay? And then you are returning next day. So one day librarian said, why you are taking this every day? At least you can keep this for some days, then return. Okay, then you take another books. But the disciple said that my Swamiji is reading the books. So he said that how can it happen? The librarian said, okay, then I'll give the next book. Unless I get convinced that Swamiji is really reading. So he did not give book. Then Swamiji came to the librarian. He said, yes, I have read anything you can ask from any of the books. So he brought one thick book, very thick book, and then he asked something very tricky which he himself did not understand, and Swamiji spoke line by line. So this was photogenic memory. This can happen only when you are in the state of Vijnanamaya Kosha, beyond the consciousness. So these are so many examples like that. There are examples of Kabir, Mira, and Guru Nanak Dev, and so many, Buddha, Mahavir, who were in that stage. Okay. So let us first, we are still in the state of Manomaya and Pranamaya, and not even Annamaya. Annamaya Kosh means when you actually visualize anything of the world through your physical body. So for that, you need to do asanas, pranayama, mudra, bandha. And today's world of yoga is or not beyond this. Asanas, pranayama, mudra. And this is yoga in the world. They don't know Raj Yoga, they don't know Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga. And that is the real yoga which we will learn. We'll learn Ayurveda. We'll learn, and then when you learn all these things, then you will not have questions. Your questions will be answered when you attain the state of Vijnanamaya Kosha. Yes. Okay. Any question? Urlin, I think you are understanding everything.
Yes, I'm quite able to relate everything.
Very nice. Yes, yes. Yogishta. Time is up. I have to leave. Yeah, please,
Just
last question.
my question was, if we are God, then why there is a need of unification?
I am not God. I am still away from God. We need unification because I am God in the level of soul. I means that I here is not the I of the ego or the I of Manomaya Kosha or the body consciousness of Pancha-bhutas. No. I am still supposed to do lot of penance and sadhana and sattvic ahar and do lot of meditation, lot of studies to become one with God. Of course, the talk about I am God is to make me understand that don't have to forget your goal is that. So I am God means my goal is that I am God. Understood?
All right.
Thank you. Chalo. Let us finish. Oh. Nityam Shuddham Nirabhasham Nirakaram Niranjanam Nityabodham Chidanandam Gurur Brahma Namamiham Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaskar. Touch your forehead with the thumbs, bring down to center of chest. Salute your consciousness with the love of your heart. Atma ko hridaya se pranam. Thank you. Namaskar.